Welcome to You Mother Truckers podcast. This week, we're hitting a double feature, plunging straight into not one, but two flash fiction stories that hurl everyday teenagers into some seriously unbelievable situations.
Absolutely.
You, our awesome listener, flagged these tales for us, and you're looking to get a rapid yet comprehensive grasp of the core conflicts and, well, those jaw-dropping twists they throw at you.
Yeah, consider this your express lane, your pit stop to being totally up to speed.
Exactly. We've got two distinct narratives coming your way, each with its own unique flavor of the unexpected.
Think of us as your pit crew, basically, getting you prepped so you can navigate these stories like a seasoned pro.
First up in our pit stop is a story called The City Below. We're introduced to Sarah, Alex, and Maya, seemingly ordinary teenagers in a sleepy town.
Right, the classic setup almost.
Who stumble upon a hidden magical city right under their noses after discovering an old diary. Your objective here is to understand the essence of this subterranean world, the forces trying to exert control over it, and how these apparently normal kids become its unlikely guardians.
And for our second pit stop, we're rocketing into a dystopian future with a flash fiction story titled Rigged. This time, we meet another Sarah, Alex, and Maya, a different set of teens, each possessing extraordinary abilities, or gifts, as they call them.
Right, the gifted.
They're competing in televised Phoenix trials, ostensibly designed to rebuild a shattered world. Your deep dive here will uncover the real, much darker purpose behind these trials, and how these teenagers, initially seen as saviors, transform into rebels fighting tooth and nail for their very survival.
So buckle up, because we've got two completely different worlds brimming with secrets and incredibly high stakes to explore. Let's get this pit stop underway and see what fascinating insights we can extract for you from these flash fiction stories, starting with The City Below.
Let's do it.
Okay, let's unpack this. What immediately struck me was the almost classic setup. Ordinary kids, an unexpected discovery.
What's fascinating right from the start is indeed that catalyst, the cracked letter diary. It's such a tangible object, you know? A whisper from the past that completely shatters the present reality for these teenagers.
Totally.
You have Sarah perhaps longing for something beyond the mundane of their small town, Alex with that restless, energetic spirit, and Maya, the grounded, analytical one. That initial dynamic feels key. They each react to the unbelievable in their own distinct way.
Right. They don't just instantly buy into the idea of a magical city beneath their feet. There's that relatable skepticism, which feels really...
It's really believable, yeah. You wouldn't just immediately buy into a hidden city.
Exactly. But then weird things start happening, like those eerie swirling patterns in the cemetery, stuff like that.
Yeah, those occurrences are effective in piquing their curiosity and ours. It's that gradual unfolding of the impossible that really draws you in.
And the descent itself is described so vividly. It's not just a simple tunnel. It's a transition into an entirely different realm.
Marked by that shift in materials, right?
Yeah.
From familiar earth to gleaming metal inscribed with those faintly luminescent glyphs.
Yeah. That imagery really sparks the imagination, hinting at both advanced technology and a sense of, like, ancient mystery.
It creates this wonderful juxtaposition of wonder and a subtle feeling of unease. Something's not quite right.
And here's where it gets really interesting. They soon realize they're not alone in this subterranean world, right?
Definitely not. These shadowy figures emerge, instantly injecting danger into that initial sense of wonder.
And these aren't just random antagonists. They're presented as a long-standing society, obsessed with controlling the city's power.
Which raises the stakes considerably. It introduces a history and a conflict that predates our teenage protagonists.
So it's not just about the thrill of discovery anymore.
Not at all. It's about stumbling into a pre-existing power struggle, one that has apparently been going on for generations. And the theft of the diary is a crucial turning point.
Ah, yeah, the diary gets stolen.
It signifies that this seemingly innocuous object holds significant value, not just as a guide, but perhaps as a key to controlling the city's power. And now our teens are directly involved without their primary map, basically.
What I found particularly compelling is how the story organically integrates each of the teens' individual traits into the unfolding action during the chase.
Oh, definitely.
Alex's talent for tinkering actually proves useful in navigating some of the city's strange, malfunctioning machinery.
His smirky energy pays off.
And Maya's logical and observant nature allows her to utilize the city's intricate geometry to their advantage, like using the angles and stuff.
Yeah, she sees the patterns. And Sarah's discovery of those mirrored orbs that project images of their pursuers adds this almost mystical surveillance element to the story. Pretty creepy.
It is. And it's
Yeah.
fascinating how the narrative suggests the city itself isn't just a passive location.
Right. The doors sealing shut, the lights flickering erratically, that palpable hum of power. It almost feels as if the city possesses a kind of sentience, you know?
Like a will to resist this controlling society.
Exactly. This prompts us to consider, is the city merely a source of energy, or is there something more to its existence? Perhaps a form of inherent intelligence or a deeply ingrained defense mechanism.
That really feels like the central enigma of the city below, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And it all culminates at the glowing core of the city, that concentrated source of potential energy.
Yeah, the big showdown.
The confrontation with the society elder, portrayed as someone consumed by a desire for domination, really highlights the magnitude of the threat the teenagers face.
He
Wants that power.
But it's Maya's intuitive understanding that ultimately resolves the immediate conflict. She doesn't try to overpower the core.
No, she does something different.
She senses that the city operates on principles of balance. Her gentle interaction with the core, causing the light to diffuse and recede, suggests a different kind of power, one rooted in harmony and respect, rather than brute force.
Which is a really cool twist.
It is.
And then, in a rather unexpected turn, the city doesn't get destroyed or conquered. It simply disappears.
Poof, gone.
The tunnels shift and change, guiding the teams back to the surface. It's as if the city itself is retreating, choosing to remain hidden once more.
That vanishing act leaves such a powerful, lingering impression. It wasn't a collapse, but a deliberate withdrawal.
Right.
And those subtle traces left above ground, the faint echoes in the storm drains, the unusual patterns on the cemetery stones, serve as a constant reminder of their extraordinary experience. A secret language only they understand.
And the aftermath feels so right. They don't try to prove what happened to anyone. They share this profound secret, forever changed by their experience. That quiet defiance the story mentions, it speaks to a newfound inner strength born from this incredible encounter.
Yes.
The underlying idea that the most remarkable adventures and potent forces might be concealed just beneath the surface of our ordinary lives. It's a truly captivating thought. So, for you listening, what does this spark? Perhaps a reconsideration of the familiar spaces around you.
Exactly. It encourages us to look beyond the surface of our everyday routines, to consider the possibility of the extraordinary existing just out of our direct perception. And it raises a fundamental question. If we were to encounter something similar, how would we choose to interact with it? Would our first instinct be exploitation or understanding and preservation?
That's a heavy question. Okay, let's shift gears now and plunge into our second flash fiction story in this pit stop rig.
All right.
We're moving from a hidden, possibly benevolent secret to a much more overt and potentially sinister one.
Indeed. The contrast is stark. We go from the almost dreamlike discovery of the city below to the harsh, manufactured reality of this post-cataclysmic future.
Yeah, totally different vibe.
Right away, you're hit with this feeling of a world struggling to rebuild. And the Phoenix Trials are presented as this beacon of hope, a path towards a new order.
And we're introduced to another trio of teenagers again named Sarah, Alex, and Maya, but in a completely different context.
Different kids, same names. Coincidence? Maybe.
Maybe. This Sarah commands fire, this Alex possesses incredible gravity-defying agility, and this Maya can manipulate air to create shields and traps. These gifts are what set them apart.
What make them special, but also what make them participants in this high-stakes competition. They're basically tools, almost.
The initial portrayal of the trials is very carefully crafted to inspire hope, though.
Oh yeah, it's all televised.
These gifted teens are presented as potential leaders, their extraordinary abilities showcased for a desperate populace yearning for a sign of progress.
It's a masterful piece of propaganda, creating this illusion of meritocracy and a promising future built on their talents. Looks good on camera.
But that carefully constructed facade begins to crack pretty early on, doesn't it?
It really does. The shift in the nature of the trials, the increasing brutality that forces these gifted individuals to fight each other, that really signals that something is deeply wrong with this system. Maya's suspicious injury feels like a pivotal moment, suggesting that the outcomes might not be as organic as they appear.
Right, it feels manipulated.
What's particularly unsettling is the gradual erosion of trust among the participants. They start to suspect they're being monitored, their private quarters bugged.
Paranoia sets in.
And the shift in the audience's reaction, their growing thirst for dramatic conflict, further underscores the manufactured nature of these events. It's subtle but effective, building tension and hinting at the darker truth.
And then comes the undeniable revelation, the discovery of that secret control room. Bam!
The curtain is pulled back. The image of those shadowy figures placing bets, coldly manipulating the outcomes, treating these powerful young people as mere commodities for entertainment and profit. It's a truly chilling moment of disillusionment.
Awful. Their extraordinary abilities, meant to contribute to rebuilding society, are instead being exploited for the amusement of a select few.
It's a stark commentary on the potential for corruption even within systems ostensibly designed for good. These teenagers, who were meant to be symbols of hope, are reduced to pawns in a cynical game. For you, our listener, this raises a critical question. How often do we blindly accept the narratives presented to us without questioning the underlying agendas or the unseen hands pulling the string?
That's a really good point. And this is where the narrative shifts from passive participation to active rebellion, and it's incredibly empowering. They decide they will no longer be instruments of this rigged system. Maya using her air manipulation to chart escape routes. Alex using his agility to sabotage the very systems that control them. It's their way of reclaiming agency.
Taking back control. It's great to see them use their powers for themselves.
And the next trial becomes their bold act of defiance. They transform the competition into an elaborate escape plan.
Using their honed abilities not for the cameras or the audience, but purely for their own survival.
Right. Sarah's strategic use of her fire to blind the cameras, broadcasting a clear message of sabotage to the unsuspecting viewers, is a powerful symbol of their resistance, like sticking it to the man.
It's a huge moment.
Their escape isn't portrayed as some glorious, guaranteed victory, though.
No, it's messy.
They emerge into a devastated world, now fugitives, with the full force of the authorities likely pursuing them. There's no fairy tale ending promised, just the raw reality of their courageous act.
And that's precisely what makes the ending so resonant. The story suggests that what the world truly needs isn't their carefully orchestrated performances or their controlled displays of power.
No staged fights?
Exactly. It needs their untamed spirit, their resilience in the face of oppression, their willingness to fight for genuine freedom. They become the sparks of a true rebellion, poised to ignite a future based on authentic strength rather than manufactured spectacle.
So, what does this leave you to consider? Rigged really forces you to examine the spectacles we readily consume and to question whether there might be hidden costs or less visible, potentially exploitative truths lurking beneath the surface.
Definitely makes you think.
What might be the modern-day Phoenix trials in our own society, and how can we become more adept at recognizing when the game we're watching or even participating in is fundamentally rigged?
It compels us to think critically about the ethics of entertainment, the inherent risks of exploitation, and the vital importance of maintaining a questioning perspective in a world saturated with, carefully constructed narratives and media.
Yeah, so much curated content out there.
And ultimately, it underscores the profound power of individual resistance, even when facing seemingly insurmountable odds.
So there you have it, two compelling flash fiction stories, two vastly different hidden worlds, and two groups of teenagers confronting extraordinary circumstances in their own unique ways.
Quite the journey.
In the city below, you witnessed how simple curiosity can lead to the discovery of something truly remarkable, and the unexpected responsibility that comes with protecting it.
That sense of wonder and hidden depth.
That story really makes you ponder the untold secrets that might exist just beyond our everyday awareness and the ethical considerations of what we do when we encounter the unknown. It begs the question, what undiscovered realms might be coexisting with our own reality, completely unnoticed?
And then Rigged led us down a much more perilous path, exposing the insidious exploitation that can lie hidden beneath a seemingly promising endeavor.
A much darker turn, for sure.
It powerfully highlights the crucial importance of scrutinizing the narratives we are presented with and the immense courage required to challenge and defy systems built on manipulation and control. This story certainly prompts us to critically evaluate the spectacles we willingly engage with and to consider whether there might be a hidden price or a more sinister truth concealed beneath the surface. What are the contemporary Phoenix trials in our world, and how can we become more discerning in identifying when the odds are stacked against us?
Both of these flash fiction stories, despite their fantastical elements, delve into deeply human themes. The irresistible allure of the unknown, the ever-present potential for the abuse of power, and the enduring resilience of the human spirit, particularly in young people.
Yeah, that youthful defiance really shines through in both.
We genuinely hope this pit stop has provided you with a solid understanding of these narratives and perhaps even sparked some deeper contemplation.
Hope you enjoyed the ride.
Rate and follow You Mother Truckers podcast for more captivating mysteries from the realm of flash fiction. We'll catch you next time with more thrilling tales.